right.
Walk to the first station.
All right. So my name is Daniel Hapte. I'm in the stormwater planning. Once the levee is built, what it does is it just disconnects the Cameron Run from community. When the tide is high, which pushes the water, and if it is rain, then the water's not gonna go down. They just stay and raises and becoming problem for our community. So this community used to be in a flood area, in a high risk area. Because of the levee, now FEMA considered as a levee protected community. There is several flooding events happen after the levee is done that would have been a problem, but because of the levee, we didn't see any issue. These are the elevations where the 100-year storm gonna be. So FEMA will identify all this area before the levee, a high risk community, which means they're gonna pay high insurance. The insurance is high. After the levee, which is accredited by FEMA, we submit models, all the necessary document, hydraulic analysis to make this accredited.
In 2009, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers did a study on kind of how to deal with the flooding in the area here, kind of resulting from the storms in 2006 and other flooding events. They provided a proposal or a report to the county that had different recommendations, everything from buying up houses and creating more of a parkland to creating the levee. The county, after looking at things, opted to go with the levee. Throughout this whole process, we had pretty regular meetings with the community. Where we would kind of keep people up to date on status of things, where we were going, and what we were doing. There's about 175 acres that drains down to this point. The levee itself starts at the high ground down here and goes about 2,900 feet to the high ground at the Riverside Apartments. We have this 4-foot eye wall on here. This is a concrete wall poured over sheet piles that go down about 13 to 15 feet into the levee. This area out here is designed to kind of pond water. In the event that we get an extra large storm, water can back up in the system and be stored in this area. And then that allows time for the pump station to pump things down.
My name's Aaron George. I'm a dam safety engineer over at MSMD. We've got over a half mile of levee embankment, sheet pile and concrete eye wall, which is really creating that physical barrier between Cameron Run and the flooding concerns that Cameron Run pose to the Huntington community. So that physical barrier is the protection, keeping those flooding conditions out. But then that creates the need for us, with the drainage that comes into this system, to be reliant on the pump station. But as the water comes into the ponding area and low flow system here, it's going underground, and then it's making its way to a low flow pump station. It's really just whenever the storms get larger and it start to exceed that capacity that you're going to see water actually appear in the ponding area. Once it's starting to show itself, we're getting close to the point where we're going to exceed the capacity and then flip on to the high flow pumps. The station then discharges into a highly engineered outfall structure. So we're taking the energy out of those pumps then and safely conveying it back into Cameron Run. About a month after this was fully put in service, we got an event that in Cameron Run would have flooded Huntington. In that event, the water level, as we look at the ponding area, did not come out of the banks. It got it up to about elevation 5. It's not going to really start coming out of the banks until about 6 or 7, so maintained it very well.
I'm Brad. I work with pump stations. I'm the business operations manager. I'm going to talk about the pump station a little bit and the operations. Beneath us here, if they talked about the low flow pumps, these 3 pumps will handle the operations. And then as the level rises, more of the 3 pumps come on. And then as it continues to rise, it takes the water and sends it around to the high flow station. So at that point, the water would then pass through the bar screens inside, and then it'll be pushed back out to Cameron Run from the high flow pumps. So this is one of our larger generators. It's not our largest one, but it's 1.5 megawatt generator. We have one of them's our main. This is our utility main. This is our generator main. So right now this one is open. This one is closed. In the event that we lose power, there's sensing equipment in here. They'll send a signal to the generator. The generator will start. It'll send the power signal back. And once we know we have good power through the ATS, it will switch the bus inside this gear to operate the station. It's going to come through these screens here. These screens are going to take all the trash and garbage that's going to damage the pumps out of the water before it goes to the pumps. These are our high flow pumps. Only 3 of them can run at a time. The 4th one is like a backup.